Well, hello there, everybody who isn't here. That's okay. Welcome once again to episode number 184 of Wednesday Afternoon Live with me, SaleenDriver. The show about nothing in particular. The show that endeavors to prove that we are a show about nothing in particular. And, we do prove it every week, I gotta say. Well, Sir Ugga is the first one in here. Yes, this show is nonsense, and we're happy about that. Matt Dumit's here. Slim Shady Canes is number 3 in the box. Correct, sir. This is a show about nonsense and shenanigans, much like the 2020 and 2022 elections. Pure shenanigans. Barely watchable nonsense, yes. I'm not only proud of that, Sir Ugga, I'm smug about it. But that begs the question, Sir Ugga, if this is barely watchable, why are you here? I know why you're here. You're here to be entertained and to entertain others, or at least you think you're entertaining others, but I know I'm entertaining others. I mean, that's why I'm here. Right? Right. So, as we usually do, we wait for people to come into the box and then figure out what the hell we're going to talk about. VicTube, one of the regulars. Well, everyone in here so far is a regular, or as we call you guys, the usual suspects. But that's okay. We're happy about that. Now, let's see here. Let me get a little organized here. So what's going on with you guys today? Battle Angels here. Good to see you, my dear. I'm wondering if I think it's been about a month since Battle Angel and Lou moved into their home together. And obviously they're both still alive, so they haven't killed each other yet. But I'm wondering if they finished unpacking yet. Utterly atrocious shenanigans. Yeah, I understand. And Sir Ugga likes to watch barely watchable. Well, no, he says barely watchable nonsense. You misspelled barely, sir. Do I want to do that? That's been 3 months, Battle Angel. I thought it was less time than that. I'm sorry. I think I'll just give Ugga 1 or 2, and then I'll zap his ass. Maybe I should learn a new level of tolerance. Predictably salacious shenanigans. Well, predictably? Am I getting predictable? Oh, darn. Well, I guess that happens after a while. Just run out of shit to talk about. I am waiting for a delivery from DHL from Italy. I had to sign for it, so hopefully it'll show up while I'm actually here before I have to leave later. I really don't want that particular package floating around between here and Tampa. That would be bad. But we'll see what happens. DHL is one of the more Raj. one of the more reliable carriers that I've been dealing with. So hopefully they do their job. The nonsense is predictable. Oh, okay. Well, if the nonsense is predictable, then me timing your dumb ass out will be predictable as well. So I don't have to feel bad about doing it when I actually do it. It's not a matter of if with you, sir. It's when. You know. So I was um, watching the news and watching various live feeds that I get, and I saw that I saw something laughable. Shut up, Shipes. My trip to Italy was great, RJ. It was fantastic. It was a life-changing thing for me. I never said this show wasn't predictable, but I did see in the various news feeds that I got that it looks like we're going to get a couple of debates out of the two main candidates for the presidency, one in June and one in September. So if you guys and gal happen to be taking the I don't know if it's medication or not, but if you happen to be someone who takes Prevagen on a daily basis, I would strongly recommend you go out after the stream and go get yourself a good supply of Prevagen, because I predict a national shortage of Prevagen in the near future. There's going to be a national shipment of Prevagen to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue in the near future, owing to the fact they're going to have to do something to keep Puddinhead awake and functioning at some level to prepare and participate in a debate with Donald Trump. And I don't know what kind of steroids they're going to pump into the poor guy, but damned if you won't hear some big medical sucking sound coming out of Washington, D.C. as they try and prop this fossil up from now until November. I mean, these debates are a waste of time. I don't personally watch them, but I might watch them this time around just for the comical aspect of the whole thing. Stingray here. Good to see you, sir. Well, I would start hoarding Narcan if that helps with your mind's ability to function, because anything and everything in the FDA catalog that has to do with mental acuity, I guarantee there's going to be a shortage of it in the near future. But hey, don't say I don't warn people and do a public service and try and help people out, because it may not seem like it, but I do love you guys, and I do care about what happens to the vast majority of you. And if by my advice you guys can be helped, then, and I only managed to help one or two of you with something on a weekly basis, then, I've done my job. Oh, I am not a hater, Vic. Come now. I'm not a hater. I'm just calling it the way I see it. And did anyone notice on Vic's latest video, he was freshly haircutted and clean shaving? Looking good, Vic. Looking good. Well, I'm going to drop the link a little early because the show always picks up when we have more people than just me talking. So thank you, Stingray. Yes. Yes. I look upon these live streams as a public service. I do. I don't know that Nate is a Vic hater. How nobody can hate Mike Vick. I mean, come on. Vic 2 Productions is one of the most loved and appreciated and respected members of this college football trash talk community that Slita isn't a member of. And that's another subject we could tackle if anyone wants to. Salita says his channel is not a trash talk channel. I don't believe that for a minute. How you doing, Slim?
I'm trying to figure out what you're a hater of.
I don't know.
Well, Vic said you're a hater.
Well,
what are you hating on?
I guess he thinks I'm hating on President Puddinhead.
Listen, if you can't look at that old codger and see that his cheese is slid off his cracker, I don't think your cheese is on your cracker.
Oh, that man has lost not only the cheese on the cracker, he lost the cracker.
I mean, this man literally shat himself before a meeting with the Pope and had to change his pants.
You think? I bet he might shit himself during a presidential debate. He has to be standing on his feet for 2 hours.
I think they'll have a steady stream of epinephrine going into his veins.
Yeah, probably. And see, VicTube says Nate is not a Vic hater. So there you go.
I still need Vic to answer what you're a hater of.
Oh, well, let's see. I hate Brussels sprouts. I hate peas. I hate carrots.
Who hates peas and carrots?
I'm not a fan. I'm really not. I never did like peas or carrots. I really don't.
What's the matter with you?
I don't know. People have been trying to figure that out for 59 years. My therapist sort of succeeded in that, but that was a while ago. So,
are you still seeing said therapist?
Once in a while we touch base. I do have to admit that after my father died, I started seeing him a little bit more regularly. For a little while because I wasn't handling it very well.
I don't think you're handling life in general very well. I think you need to see him more regularly, permanently.
Well, and there is an argument to be said for that, but I don't know. Well, Sir Uga, the other side of that coin is if you stop making lame-ass car jokes, you don't get timed out. I ain't timed you out yet, so stop whining. I don't hate Democrats. I'm just not, hate is such a strong word. I only hate, in this world, of all the people that I know and have been in and out of my life, I only hate 2 people. I dislike a lot of people, but I only hate 2 people.
I wouldn't even say I hate Democrats. If they'll leave me the fuck alone, we won't have a problem.
Huh? I don't understand this comment, but
don't understand what?
No, peas, P-E-A-S, peas, as in the vegetable. Stingray.
What do you think you meant? The letter P?
Or everything that starts with a P. Pets start with a P. I don't hate pets.
Pistachios. What about pistachios?
I like pistachios. I do. I usually buy them already shelled because I don't like working so hard for the Yeah, they taste great. As long as they got enough salt on them.
So that's just lazy. That's like saying you're too lazy to shell your peas or your pecans.
Well, I'm not a big fan of pecans, but although I have started to like them a little more lately. Poontang? Oh, no, who doesn't like poontang?
Yeah, but you haven't had any in so long, you probably forgot what it's like.
What's your point?
My point is, if you don't remember what it's like, how would you know you still like it?
Well, my mind hasn't totally gone so soft that I can't remember, things. And your assumption that I haven't had any in a long time is I mean, define a long time. First of all, that's very subjective, and second of all, you don't have a monitor on me. You don't know what I'm doing or not doing, as the case may be.
Has it been more than a decade?
Dude, I'm not going to answer these questions. It's none of your business.
So I'll take that as a yes.
You'd be wrong, but you can take it any way you want.
Has it been more than 2 decades?
And since you're so utterly convinced of that, there's no way I'm going to dissuade you short of video evidence, which I don't have any.
I would certainly hope not.
Anyway, I don't know what your fascination with my sex life is, but I find that a little disturbing.
Well, no, I was just going to make the argument that it may make you a happier, more cheerful fucking person.
Yeah, I can't deny that. But I got plenty in my life to be happy about. For example, if I may brag on my child a little bit, my younger daughter finished her first semester in her master's program with straight A's.
I mean, that's great. I'm not shitting on that, but we're talking about a completely different kind of happiness and satisfaction in life.
Yeah, I can see that. But, happiness is happiness, I mean.
And I don't think watches will fill that void either.
Probably not, no. Amada, how do you pronounce that last name?
I don't know. I can't see it. I'm not even looking at my phone.
Amada Melita. Am I pronouncing that right, Amada? Melita? Melita. Melita. Anyway, welcome. I'm not really sure who she is exactly. I've seen her in a lot of other streams, so she's obviously.
How do you know it's a she?
I don't, but the picture is a Raj. The picture is a woman.
Assume somebody's gender in 2024. How dare you?
I'm sorry. I'm old-fashioned that way. Joshua Alex George, good to see you, sir. Shalom and all that. And Amada says she's a she. So
I mean, that's fine. I wasn't saying that she wasn't. I wasn't saying that she wasn't. I was just admonishing you for assuming.
Oh, I don't care about that. If it looks like a duck and walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck.
Well, have you seen her quack and walk?
No, but you get the idea.
So you're still assuming?
Yeah. Well, if it ever comes to pass that Amada and I are in proximity of each other, and I can lay eyes on her, and I see that it's a woman, and it doesn't have an Adam's apple, and it doesn't have a penis, then it's a woman. Sir Uga, I do not hate women. I don't know why you would make that assumption, sir. You don't know me. I love women. Women are wonderful things.
Things?
You know what I mean.
That's a hell of a description.
Women are wonderful parts of the human species. They are the better half of the better subspecies of the species human, especially the ones with nice butts. Just
Well,
saying.
that was
Sexist.
I was gonna call it cold, but okay.
Yeah, well, whatever. Anyway, what are you doing today?
Same thing I'm doing every day, sitting on my ass.
Or you sitting on your ass at home, or you sitting on your ass in the truck?
In the truck where I normally am.
Oh, I don't know. Some days you might get a day off or something like that, you know.
I ain't got time for that.
Well, you can't work every day, sir. The DOT won't let you. I think.
There are ways to game the system.
Yeah, I know. I've heard anyway. Zona Tucson, good to see you, sir. And now Sir Uga is going to go into creep mode at Amada. Amada, let me know when he gets to be more than you need to deal with, and I'll just zap his ass. Sir Uga, behave yourself. By the way, has everyone noticed that Sir Uga is present? Jay Shipes, although he did only make one comment, is present. Traveling
They're both present
fools.
last week.
Huh?
They were both present last week.
Yes, I'm pointing it out for the record, on the record, let the record show. Traveling Fools, if he decides to show up, will be seen. TK, if she's around, she can be seen too.
Wow, you had TK blocked too? Now that's just messed up.
Yeah, whatever. Crimson Brave is also unblocked.
Although I do say a good lover's quarrel every once in a while makes for good entertainment.
Oh, for fuck's sake. The only person left on my block list that isn't a porn site is Unk. And nobody in here has any level of stroke or any level of influence with me that will ever get me to unblock Unk ever.
I'd be willing to bet there's not a single porn site on the internet that you have blocked. Unless they've stolen your money.
Anyway. Well, my favorite ones are X videos and Pornhub. So, you know. You don't have to
I didn't ask for a top 25 list.
Oh, okay. But they're you know, you don't have to pay for those. Just saying. Let's see.
Well, yes, we know you're a cheap bastard too.
Well, I save all my money for the watches. And come Friday, I'm going to finish the purchase on a watch that I've been wanting for years. And hopefully on Saturday or Monday it'll show up. And that'll be you know, I'll be very happy about that. I realize that nobody else here will have that level of, you know, caring about that, but you know, it's what makes me happy.
Well, I mean, there's very few people in here. Like, perfect example, I can't see myself spending more than, you know, probably $1,000 on a watch, somewhere right around there.
Well,
but I've spent $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on guns.
Yeah, and I understand that. I wouldn't spend $5,000 on a gun, but I'd spend $5,000 on a watch. I'd still have to think about it for a little bit, you know. Make sure.
Yeah, it takes a little convincing to get myself to spend that much money.
But let me ask you a question. There's got to be a one or two or more particular models of gun that you would like to own, and if you got the opportunity to own, you would you jump at the chance, even if they were out of production.
There's a couple out of production that I do want.
Yeah, well, this is the same thing. This watch, there were only 10 of them made. They're long since out of production. I know 4 of the people that own, of the 10, I know 4 people personally, and they never come up for sale.
Yeah.
Never.
Well,
until this one guy that I know made a life decision that involved, he wanted to raise money for starting a family, and he knew who to contact. Me.
Well, see, it's a little different with guns too, because normally the fancier the watch, the more expensive it is.
Yeah.
And it can be the same way with guns. Unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it, you get some super nice, fancy engraved gun. That's not going to tend to what catches my eye, because using it, you get a lot of wear and tear on it. That's just how guns work.
Yeah.
If I'm going to spend, $5,000 on a hand engraved Colt or something, you want to put as little wear and tear on that as you can.
It's pretty much the same with as you go up the scale of watches, and cars for that matter. As you move up the scale like that, you tend to want to wear them out less.
Right.
Which actually brings me to a question I never got to ask any, and I should have. Have you ever heard of a company called Henry Repeaters?
Yeah, they've been around since the 1800s.
Yeah, I know that, but Ken Spear, I haven't seen you in a while, sir. How you doing, man? Checking in from Pittsburgh as usual. I keep, every once in a while, I know you know who Sean Hannity is, right?
Yeah.
Every once in a while, he gets an ad buy, I guess, from Henry. There's a company named Henry or Henry Repeaters.
It's Henry Repeating Arms Company.
Okay. And they talk about, these weapons. And I don't know. Do you have an opinion on how good or how bad a weapon they are? I mean, are they just something to look at, or are they actually functional?
No, they're absolutely functional. Now they run the gamut. They've got, your standard blued metal ones, which are obviously cheaper, all the way up to 14 karat gold plated. Mm-hmm. And they've got engraved and all that kind of stuff.
Hang on a sec. Hang on. Uga, you know what? If you want to tell Ford car jokes, go ahead. Jesus Christ. I've never seen somebody whine so much about one subject. Stop whining.
He does it to invoke a reaction.
Well, here's a reaction. Stop whining. Make all the fucking jokes you want. I won't time you out. The lame-ass fucking jokes. Have a little cheese to go with your wine, and just go forth, sir. I don't give a fuck anymore. You're whining so much about it, you sound like a 5-year-old. Jesus Christ. Anyway, please continue.
Yeah, I would absolutely endorse Henry. They make great firearms.
I don't know. I was thinking about investing in one. I just didn't know if it was a decent, functional.
Absolutely.
What do they have? Various calibers, or are they just all one caliber?
Yeah, they definitely have various calibers, and caliber you want depends on what you're using it for, what all kinds of things. I mean, most popular, especially with lever actions, because most people don't use lever actions anymore, is a 30-30. That's kind of the tried and true.
I guess it would be a home defense kind of thing.
Well, I mean, if you're using it for something like that, I mean, me personally, I always endorse some kind of shotgun because, especially if you're using, say birdshot or something, 6, 7 shot, something like that, it's not going to go through 2 layers of drywall. But it'll absolutely turn somebody's chest into hamburger meat.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
That's why
seven shot.
Yeah, number 7 shot. You've got you got steel shot, you've got turkey loads, you've got slugs, you've got 6 shot, 7 shot. It's just different types of ammunition is all it is.
Uncle Lou has joined the party. Looks
but
like
I like it. I like it if you have kids in the house. You less to worry about.
No, Traveling Fools is here.
They also have handguns that shoot shotgun rounds.
Oh, I need to. I guess I need to do some more self-education. Yeah.
Like I said, a gun is a tool, and you don't use a hammer when you need a wrench. You know what I'm saying?
No, I know exactly what you said. Actually, that brings me to another question that I don't know the answer to, and maybe you do. What is the typical shelf life of bullets?
It depends. Depends on how you store them. They can
in a safe.
Kept in when I say it depends, especially if you're gonna be storing ammo for a long time, it's a good idea to. A lot of people put dehumidifiers in their safe if they're gonna be storing a lot of ammo in it.
Yeah, especially in Florida.
Right. Well, I mean, much like everything else, oxygen is its enemy.
Yeah.
Like those little packets that they'll put in packages of beef jerky and shit like that. I usually throw a couple of those in on top of my ammo cans.
Yeah, I have 2 of those in my safe.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
They're kind of big pouches, though. They're like 4x4.
I got bigger ones that I keep in my safe too. I did before, because my safe plugs in anyway because it's got lights on the inside and all kinds of other shit. So I just got a dehumidifier and mounted it.
Yeah, I don't have anything fancy like that. Okay, good to know.
I also have a gun safe that's the size of a fucking bookcase too, so I don't have a little one.
Yeah, mine's let's see, mine's about, I think it's about 5 foot tall, maybe about 2 feet deep.
That's fairly standard. Where they change is the width, and mine's almost 4 feet wide.
I have to put a tape measure on mine, but it's a Liberty safe, but it's not one of the fancy ones.
Well,
I remember the day that thing was delivered. That turned into a circus.
Well, I mean, much like everything else, you can spend a couple $100 on a safe, or you can spend a few $1,000s on a safe.
I think I spent 1,500 on this one.
I mean, I went a little more, but I also we keep. I also bought one with a higher fire rating in case the house burns down, and we keep important documents like birth certificates and all that kind of crap in there.
I wanted something that was fireproof, and also it had a good water seal on it because hurricane.
Yeah, right.
Although they redid the roofs on these places recently, they put extra anchors on them, so hopefully the roof stays on it. They're calling for a very busy hurricane season this year. Yeah.
Well, what you can most safes come with a kit, and I did this with mine. My safe's actually bolted into the foundation of the house.
That wouldn't be a bad idea. So, Elga, how did Amada make my day? I don't understand how that. I mean, I'm glad she's here. I'm glad all of you are here. But how did Amada do that specifically? Goose Sports is here. Good to see. VidTube just disappeared on us.
Maybe he had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, Uncle Lou said one thing and disappeared. Anyway, well, good to know. I don't know what I'll be doing with respect to adding another gun into the house or not. I have, and this may sound silly to you, but I only have the one gun.
Well, I mean, not everybody likes guns. My wife wasn't a gun person until we got together, and then I turned her to the dark side, I guess.
Insert the Darth Vader theme here.
Yeah, right.
Well, it's a Springfield 40 cal. Springfield? Yeah.
I have Springfield.
Yeah. It's a nice pistol. Does the job. I haven't shot it in a while. I need to go back to the range, carve out some time, go to the range, and try and get a little better.
I mean, it's a little surprising. You don't hear many people, especially these days, wanting to buy lever action rifles.
No, you don't. I don't know.
I own a couple. I like them.
I just heard Hannity talking about it, and he really seemed to. I realize he's doing an ad for the thing, and he's supposed to read a certain copy about it, but he just seemed to be very very happy with the rifle, and talked glowingly about it for longer than maybe a 60-second or a 90-second spot. And just it makes you curious.
Yeah.
What's going on here? What's all this about then? And you are one of the people I know that owns quite a number of pew pews. So I figured, well, I could ask Slim these questions, and he laughs at me all the time about other shit. So if I ask a dumb question about a gun, he'll laugh at me, and life will go on.
No, I wouldn't do that. I mean, because I know you're not into them as much as I am.
Yeah, well, you ask me watch questions. I know you're not into watches like I am, so
right.
Same thing. But I am very enthused about finishing up this purchase on Friday and getting that damn thing shipped over here. And yeah, I've wanted one of these for a long time, and I'm going to be very happy to finally check that box.
Yeah, there's a couple of exorbitant purchases I'm looking to make this year that I finally have the money to.
Ironically, that's the only exorbitant purchase I see myself making this year. I just don't live exorbitantly. I really don't. So my one weakness is watches.
I don't either, and like I don't necessarily even buy a gun every single year. But I mean, it's one of those things now that we're past 2020 and you know everybody's got shit in stock again.
Yeah.
And I'm also to the point I'm making enough money to, you know, afford some of these purchases that I've only, you know, window shopped before.
Yep. Now, I heard somebody quip the other day on the radio that Joe Biden should get an award from the NRA for being the greatest gun salesman in the history of gun sales.
He did surpass Obama. I'll give him that.
Yeah. Well, he surpassed Obama in a lot of things, but I thought that was a funny line anyway. And Shipes, shut up.
Well, I mean, you saw basically the same thing happen, and I always thought this was kind of stupid because I never did it. But every time Obama got on TV talking about, you know, one mass shooting or another, gun sales would just go through the roof because, you know, people would go out and panic buy thinking, oh shit, something's fixing to happen. But yeah, I never bought into that horse shit. I mean, listen, that's just one of those things. Even if they actually mean what they say about, except for Dianne Feinstein, even if they actually mean what they say about it, they'll never actually do it because they know that's a losing issue.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, that's why politicians have talked at length about abortion, but they've left it alone because they know that that's a losing issue because that's an issue that's split almost dead middle 50-50 across the country.
Yeah. Yeah. And I bought my gun before Obama was elected, so I can't claim that Obama influenced my purchase.
I think everybody should have at least one. It's a good idea, especially with as crazy as things have gotten. And
are going to get. I mean, I think this summer is going to be another round of insanity.
I don't know about this summer, but I've got a sneaky feeling no matter which way things go in November, it's going to get ugly afterwards.
Yeah, I could see that. But I think, you know, I mean, a couple of commentators refer to it as Floydapalooza, what happened in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to see a version 2 of that. If not during the summer, you know, in September, October timeframe, I think we're going to see something like that.
I mean, that's fine by me. They tried that horse shit in Memphis, and Memphis PD shut them down within 2 hours. They wasn't playing that. Nashville was the same way.
I think Glenn Beck uses this same line that Traveling Fools said. He said, gee, he always says, gee, it's a shame I lost all those guns in that boating accident I had on that lake in Texas.
Yeah, that one, I've heard a bunch of people say that. I don't know who come up with that originally.
Yeah. Well, the first time I ever heard it was Glenn Beck. So
I think what it originally came from was a lot of the shit that went down right after Katrina, because cops were just taking folks' guns after Katrina all over Louisiana.
Oh yeah, I heard about it. I also heard I can't confirm it, but I also heard that a lot of those guns never made their way back to their legitimate owners either.
Nope.
It wouldn't
Guy
surprise
actually
me
ended
if
up
that was true.
suing the state of Louisiana that he claimed was worth millions. Now I don't know what all he had in it, but I heard he won some money from it. But I mean, he had some shit that I don't know what all he had, but I know he had some shit that couldn't be replaced.
Yeah, I heard about that. I thought there was something in this country called due process. Well, I mean, you hear about these things, but it's supposed to be true that there's this thing called due process, but
They also like to ignore it when it's convenient.
yeah, that happens a lot, unfortunately.
I mean, no matter where you fall on the January 6th issue, you had a whole bunch of people arrested and spent months in jail without a single charge against them.
Yeah, I believe in other countries we used to refer to them as political prisoners, but don't say nothing about that.
Only when it's a convenient talking point.
I know a couple of people personally in this area that got caught, and admittedly what they were doing was stupid, but they got caught street racing and they got their cars towed and never got them back. Crushed them.
I mean, I'm all for, okay, you write people speeding tickets, or if they're doing, 120 and a 30, okay, that's reckless driving and arrest them or whatever. But I don't think street racing is leading to a shitload of other problems.
No, I don't condone it personally, especially in this area. You've got Bradenton Motorsports Park, not too far from the whole area, and they hold test and tune evenings fairly regularly.
Yeah, we've got that at Memphis Motorsports Park too.
Yep. And Lou may be right here, but they're being held without bail on misdemeanors and in solitary confinement. That seems to be a little
yes, there were absolutely people held for months that were never charged. Now they were charged later.
I think the whole thing was majorly excessive and trying to send a message to out there to the public. Don't cross the big bad government.
At this point, it's also been proved that the instigators of it were federal agents. Not to mention all the video footage that's been released of them letting them walk in there. Now, I'm all for, the 100 or so idiots that went stupid going to jail, because, yeah, you go stupid, you go to jail. That's just how it works. But there were plenty of people in there, and you threw them in jail, too.
What is that noise?
No, I just opened my window, my bad. I'll open the other one. It ain't so bad. And it's not like this. It's also not like this is the first time they did it either. They held plenty of people in Guantanamo Bay without charging them with anything. or just because they had a quote-unquote connection to somebody else they were looking for. So it's not like this kind of thing is unheard of.
Oh, well. Well, I'm guessing that Lou doesn't believe your statement that January 6 people have been held without charge.
Well, Lou doesn't believe a lot of things that don't push narratives that he believes in.
Well, I know that January 6 folks eventually get charged with something, whether it's illegal parading or breaking and entering or whatever. Whether they get charged immediately upon arrest is another subject, but eventually everyone that got arrested got charged with something.
Well, and that's the whole point. You're not supposed to arrest somebody without charging them with something. Which is exactly the point I made and said.
Yeah. He wants you to name one person that's held without a charge. I guess that means currently. You probably can't.
No, at this point, no. But some of them, once again, were not charged for a month or two after they were arrested.
Yeah.
Which is exactly the point I made. I never said they weren't charged ever. And charged with what? You can't charge somebody with trespassing at the Capitol. That's a public building.
DHL just pulled up in front of my house, and I know I'm going to have to sign for this as soon as they ring the doorbell, so I might have to step away for a few seconds.
No.
Now I'm watching him on my camera. He's opening the door.
No, you got security cameras around your house. You know what? A buddy of mine's done that at his house, and I've thought about doing it at mine.
Wet blankets here. Oh, always good to see.
That's either the worst or best YouTube name ever. Because a wet blanket just sounds terrible.
Hang on a minute. I'll be right back.
No, I've got nobody here to talk to. I can't see the comments, so I can't read those.
Good. I'll open that later.
Are you not going to do an unboxing on stream?
No.
Oh, well, too bad.
Well, I don't think anyone cares about glass. I mean, as little as people care about watches around here, they care even less about glass. So I'll open that up later, make sure that shipment didn't get wrecked. The box is in perfect shape, so I doubt they got hurt. And these people know what they're doing. So
I've had mixed results when ordering stuff that was glass.
Well, no,
I've gotten stuff in that was fine. I mean, I haven't had a problem getting it replaced if I got something that was broken, but
Well, I mean, this is glass art pieces, and they're one of a kind. So if they got hurt, then well, I guess I'll have to make me a new one. But like I said, the box looks like it's intact and should be good to go. And okay, but at least that's it's done. Raj, it's here, it's done, it's over with. I didn't miss the delivery, which is what I'm always worried about. Excuse me. Ever since I got back, I got back from Italy. I got this lingering hacking cough. I got all the way to Italy, 2 different airplanes, week in Italy, flew back, landed in Atlanta. Everything was great. Get on the plane from Atlanta to Florida, and I get sat near this guy with a hacking cough, and then both me and my mom get sick. Thank you so much. Traveling fools makes a good point.
what he
It's
said,
not that
I
they were
can't see
held
the
without.
comments.
Well, he says it's not that they were held without charges; it's that they were held without bail for years with no date for the trial. This is a factual and good point. It's not a bomb.
Even the charges that were filed against them were a load of horseshit anyway, because you can't trespass somebody from a public building.
Bail is not a right, Lou. You are correct. Bail is not a right. It is a privilege, if you will. However, it is a right to get a hearing for bail. It's called an arraignment, and you have to have one in a criminal or civil case. You have to have an arraignment where bail is ultimately discussed.
Wait a minute.
A lot of people have been held.
Hang on. I was told that making somebody pay bail to get out of jail is racist. I guess only if it's white people, then it's okay.
Yeah, I heard that too. I did. Where did that come out of? New York? Californication?
New York, Illinois, a few others. Yeah, I'm sure California is
Washington,
another
Oregon,
one of them.
Californication.
I mean, there are people there that said, "Oh, you can't make somebody pay bail to get out of jail, literally for second-degree murder."
No, Lou, I didn't say I was in favor of bail. Having an arraignment is part of the process. You have to, when you are arrested or otherwise charged criminally or civilly, you go in front of a judge or a magistrate and have a hearing where you are arraigned on the charges. Probable cause is talked about, bail is talked about. Am I favoring in no dollar bail? Just basically a revolving door? No, I'm not. But everyone is entitled to due process and entitled to a hearing. And a bail hearing is part of due process. What part of that don't you understand, sir? You find it hilarious that I'm, in favor of due process. I find it hilarious that you find it hilarious. Yeah, I just saying, everyone is entitled to due process. Nate DeLate is here. Nate DeLate. I like that one. Yes, they all eventually had bail hearings, Lou. It took months and months and months for some of them to have bail hearings. Whatever happened to what do they call it? What is the term?
The right to a speedy trial.
Yeah, that there are speedy trial laws out there, and they can be invoked by the defendant. You don't have the right to be held indefinitely in a jail cell without an arraignment and a bail hearing. Now, some of those bail hearings may happen, and they either deny bail or list the bail so high that people can't afford it, in which case they go back into their nice little jail cell. But at least they got a hearing.
What's up, guys?
Nothing.
None?
I guess we're just talking about due process and bail laws and that kind of thing.
I have no idea.
I'm also generally against arresting people and making them pay bail if they don't commit a crime.
Yeah.
And last time I checked, being let into a public building is not committing a crime. Last time I checked.
Hey, I have a question for you, Slim. Now I know you have a, job for. I know your job is like truck driving, right? Now, in your now, where did you at the beginning? Where'd you do the truck driving test? Where did you do it in Florida or Memphis? Where'd you start to do the because I heard it's hard, but that's why.
Well, I mean, I never went to a truck driving school.
Not school, like the test, like the online or the paper test or whatever. Like,
no, you do them at the DMV just like you do any other test.
I know. I mean, I heard it's harder than the learner's permit.
I mean, yeah, there's more to it than just a regular Class D license.
Right.
I didn't
Yeah.
find it especially hard.
Yeah. I mean, not that I heard, but I mean, I don't know if I can handle truck driving, but it actually looks not fun, but like adventurous, I would say. Because you're like going all places in the nation. I mean,
yeah, but it's not like you really get to stop and sightsee everywhere, though.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying like you drop off the stuff you need to be dropping off and that stuff, but
I mean, you're kind of always in a hurry.
No, yeah, that's true too. And I mean, I never, because I had a cousin or step cousin that tried the truck driving DMV test 2 times and he failed. So he says hard, but I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, you need a special license for truck driving.
Yeah.
CDL, I believe it's called.
Sweet.
Yes, bail is determined before trial. Yes. And you have to determine if a crime is committed by having a probable cause conference, which can happen at your bail hearing or after, depending on the system that you're in.
Yeah, that's going to vary by state.
Yeah.
Baylor Man is here. Oh, and by the way, hi, Albert. How you doing, sir?
100 days.
100 days until a new college football season occupies our brains.
I mean,
yeah.
Rots.
Yeah, I'm so looking forward to the start of college football season. Yay.
I mean, as a college football fan, I'm ready.
I should start a countdown clock for myself, the number of days left until Billy Napier gets fired.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've heard a bunch of Florida fans talking about how Florida may go into that Tennessee game undefeated.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we got a lot of people smoking meth in this state.
Yeah. He's honest.
Just saying, guys like and I'm not saying that Octavian and Edward not Edward, but George and all those that are, other Florida fans besides myself are, smoking something or, snorting something. But anyone that
Georgia's way
believes
out
that
on the left
Florida,
coast.
anyone that believes that Florida is going to win more than 4 games this year is insane.
Well, they might win 5.
Name them.
Well, I mean, I don't have your schedule memorized.
Well, why don't we put it up on the screen? Let me arrange that if you'll give me just a moment. Let's see. Sorry about the keyboard, folks. Forgot to warn you for the trigger warning. Trigger. Now let's see. Florida 24 football schedule. There we go. Okay. See, present. Share screen. Select. And there we go. Allow. And there we go. Oops. Can everybody see that?
Well, I obviously can't, but
Okay. Well, anyway, let's go through them one at a time, Slim, and you tell me win or lose. Miami.
lose.
Right. Samford.
Win.
A&M.
Texas A&M, probably a loss.
Right. Mississippi State.
I'd give you a win there.
UCF.
Probably a loss.
I'm sort of leaning towards win on that one, but it's iffy.
And you may be right. That's why I said probably.
Okay. Tennessee.
I think you got a good shot in that game.
In Knoxville?
Has it mattered for the better part of 20 years where the game was at?
Yeah. Kentucky.
I'll give you a win there.
Wow.
Really? Kentucky?
Yeah.
All right.
You've got a guy that has never seen the field come in for his first action.
That is true.
And it's also our homecoming game, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I mean, then again, aren't you on like a 3-game losing streak to Kentucky too?
Yeah.
Georgia. Yeah, well,
Georgia.
you're definitely lose that.
Texas lose. Sorry.
Yeah. Texas lose. Louisiana
Maybe
State.
win. I don't know.
LSU, yeah, it's probably another loss.
Ole Miss.
That's another loss.
And the Criminals.
You know what? I'll give you a win.
In Tallahassee.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's not much to stay in right now, actually. I mean,
I mean, you got to win some toss-ups.
Yeah.
Shai, you're really beginning to concern me with your obsessions. Well,
we do.
My predictions are loss to Miami, win Samford, loss to A&M, beat Mississippi State, beat UCF, and then lose everything else.
I mean, that's possible.
Napier is fired on November 3rd, the day after the Georgia game.
I can see that, yeah.
And if
I
he's
still don't
not
know if they're going
fired
to
by the
fire
day
Billy
after,
this
if
year.
he's not fired after the Georgia game, he's absolutely fired after the Florida State game.
I'm not sure about that either.
Lou says UCF is beating Florida now.
Yeah, he's been saying that all along. I think the only 3 wins Florida picks up this year are Samford, Mississippi State, and UCF. The only other possibility The only other possibility, and it's not, and it maybe a 4 in 10 chance, maybe 3 in 10, is Miami. The only reason I say that is because they're starting a new quarterback at Miami, whereas Florida has a quarterback that's arguably got some experience.
Agree, Lou.
Oh, I made that argument earlier today on Pete's show that the game's probably going to be closer than it has any business being.
Yeah. So the ceiling for Florida is 4 wins.
Yeah.
And I actually have a $50 bet with some guy on one of the Gator sites on Facebook. I have a $50 bet with him that he thinks Florida wins 5 games. I say less. He says more. So come November 31st, November 31st, can't believe I said that. Come November 30th, we're going to find out who's right and who's wrong. But hopefully by then Napier is gone, and hopefully Strickland will be gone with him.
Well, Strickland may be gone. I think because of the position Florida's currently in, you're stuck with Napier for at least another year.
Yeah. Bearman.
Well, the main reason I say this is because you're paying Dan Mullen through 2027. Are they going to find somebody to write a check to pay all of Billy's buyout? Or are they going to put him on a payment plan too, and then have to pay for whatever coach you're going to hire?
Imagine.
So that's where my question comes in about Billy being fired this year.
Well, what's 1 year difference going to make? I mean, whether you fire him in 24 or 25, he's not going to be around much longer.
Because you can
I think we cut our losses.
Well, and I don't disagree with that line of thinking, but you can also figure out a way to go ahead and get Dan Mullen paid off, so you're not paying 3 coaches at once. You're only paying 2.
Quick question: is Jim McElwain still getting paid from Florida?
No. McElwain's not getting paid anymore. We're done. We're done with him.
I was making sure because
we're down to paying Mullen and Napier. And Mullen, like Slim said, Mullen's going to get paid by Florida for a couple more years.
Yeah, which is weird.
Yeah, so I mean, do you want to come up with the money to pay a new coach and buy out Billy completely, and still pay Mullen, or come up with a couple million to go ahead and pay off Mullen, fire Billy, put him on a payment plan, and hire your new coach?
This sounds like a lot of work. Holy shit.
I mean, it's kind of a best of worst choices. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. But we got to get rid of Napier.
Yeah. Well, if I were a Florida fan, I would agree with you, but I'm not.
He's killing the program. Well, he's continuing to kill the program. The program was already killed under Moose Dump and Shark Humper. Mullen didn't help anything, and now we got Napier. So
Shark Humper won the East 2 out of 3 years, sir.
And what did McElwain do? Well, I mean, I guess 10 wins.
McElwain couldn't recruit, and his coaching style was completely wrong for the SEC.
Oh, I didn't know. So I didn't know.
Yeah, he only won his division twice.
Okay,
that's all.
Yeah, but his shucks approach to coaching didn't develop any offensive players, and the only reason he won a division twice was because of Moose Stump's defenses. Once Moose Stump's players left the chat, the team was sucking wind.
Actually, he won after, I guess, Sunbelt Billy. I heard Lane Kiffin. I don't know if he's leaving Ole Miss, but I don't know. I mean,
I think if they can get Lane Kiffin, I think Lane Kiffin in Florida can be dangerous.
I don't know. Nope.
I don't want Lane Kiffin anywhere near the Swamp unless he's the opponent.
Yeah. Yeah, BBD didn't like him either. So
you may not, but I think Lane Kiffin in Florida could be dangerous. The only other the other best idea I can come up with off the top of my head is I know Jed Fish is from the state of Florida.
Oh yeah, true. Jed Fish.
He was the Arizona coach. He's now the Washington coach.
No, actually, wait. No, before he was an Arizona coach, I think he was a coordinator at Michigan after like 2 years.
Okay, he's been a coordinator at Miami too.
That's true. Never mind. Go ahead.
I'm just talking about he just left Arizona and he's now at Washington.
Okay. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, he's
he had Arizona pretty good.
Yeah, for 1 year. I think.
Well, you know,
I don't know about Lane Kiffin.
Take a chance on him.
He's a Florida man.
I don't want Lane Kiffin anywhere near the program.
Yeah, look what he did to Tennessee.
What's your hate on with Lane Kiffin? Lane Kiffin's obviously a better coach than he was.
I don't trust him.
Like he did with Tennessee.
Don't trust him. No, nobody's ever won 10 regular season games at Ole Miss other than Lane Kiffin.
I don't think he's stable enough. I think he's a flake. I don't trust him to stick around, and I don't trust him, man. I really don't.
For all the character issues Lane Kiffin had, Lane Kiffin has matured over the years.
Yeah, I think Lane Kiffin would be a good hire for Florida.
Now, okay, if a Georgia man is going to endorse a Lane Kiffin hire for Florida, I am so against it. I can't even express
come on
it.
now.
Well, no, it's not about Florida hate. I mean, he would be a good hire. I mean, yeah.
Big Tube and Uncle
Lou. He would be good for Florida's offense. Yeah.
It's kind of like saying.
I think Lane Kiffin is a good coach. Yeah.
I think he's a good offensive coordinator.
I agree.
There you go. Exactly. Well, he's a better offensive coordinator than Billy. So
Mandy Diaz.
Billy doesn't have an offensive coordinator. Well, I see your point. Yeah.
I don't know.
That's like people. Well, hang on. That's like people like shitting on Mike Elko getting the Texas A&M job. Like, I get people wanting to shit on A&M, but 3 coaches ever have won 9 regular season games at Duke, and Mike Elko's one of them.
Yep, I mean, I think that if Lane Kiffin wants to go to Florida, then he'll go to Florida. If he doesn't want to, then they'll hire someone else. Yeah.
I just don't trust Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
I don't. I think the idea of him roaming the sidelines in the swamp in orange and blue makes me cringe.
All right. So who do you think would be a better idea? Do you have a better idea? Saleen?
I don't.
Saleen, how about Mark Stoops? Is that better?
No, I don't think he would leave Kentucky to go to Florida. Yeah, I don't think he would
a worse leave Kentucky.
Okay, scratch that.
I don't think he would leave Kentucky to go to Florida. So
we heard you the first time, Vic, but even then, Mark Stoops is a worse coach than Lane Kiffin.
I mean, Mark Stoops is at Kentucky, so I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, Kentucky is not traditionally a football school; they're a basketball school. So I mean, yeah. So Mark Stoops has it harder than Kiffin does. So
no. I would rather have.
It's a harder job. Yeah.
I would rather have Urban Liar back than Lane Kiffin.
Urban Meyer. Yeah.
Oh,
That's how little faith I have in Lane Kiffin. I'd rather take Urban Liar back.
Vic, I don't know if Mark Stoops has a harder job. I get your whole point that Kentucky is a basketball school. Ole Miss is not an anything school.
Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah.
True. You know what? I think Oklahoma's a softball scheme.
Coach Prime for would you rather Saleen, would you rather have Lane Kiffin or Deion Sanders?
Oh God. That's brutal. It's probably not an answer.
For a second. What was the question?
I asked you if you would rather have Lane Kiffin
Prime or Kiffin?
Deion Sanders. Yeah, Prime or Kiffin. Yeah.
That's both.
Can the third option be put a bullet in my head?
No.
I mean,
no.
Lane Kiffin.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
I mean, like I said,
I
might agree with your Lane Kiffin take because I've been very outspoken about not believing in Lane Kiffin as the head coach, but the job he's done at Ole Miss, I can't ignore it.
Well,
that's true.
Kentucky has SEC titles. I mean, Kentucky won the SEC, and what was it 1977? So yeah.
Let me put this
1977 SEC champions. Yeah.
The last time a coach from a rival school to Florida came in and became the Florida head coach, it was a disaster. So I don't want coaches that used to play for places like Georgia or Tennessee or Florida State or things like that. I don't want that. So a Coach Prime is not a coach. He's a hype man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want someone like that at my school.
What does it matter where they went to school? Fucking Lane. Nick Saban went to Kent State.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but I'm
he's still a good football coach.
Rival. I'm convinced now that Coach Moose Dump was planted at Florida to wreck the program.
Hey, there you go. There you go. Yeah, that's what
college
Lou has
football
been.
QAnon over here.
Yeah, that's what. Well, I mean, that's what Lou has been saying all along. So.
So somebody said it on the internet. It must be true, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Vince Dooley went to Auburn, and Pat Dye went to Georgia. So.
Okay, well, opinions on this subject vary. My opinion is I don't want somebody who's a criminal or a dog or a Voltard coaching the Gators.
Well, I mean, where did Lane Kiffin play at? Where did Lane Kiffin go?
Did Lane Kiffin even play football?
I don't know.
University of Flakes? I don't know. Now, okay, but given Lane Kiffin over
I think he played, Deion, but I mean, he wasn't. I mean, I guess he wasn't very good. I guess that's why he's coaching. But yeah.
But Lane Kiffin over Deion, yeah, I'll take that. I guess if I have to. But it's all moot point anyway. I'm stuck with Napier for at least half a season.
Yeah.
But and I know that Vic and Lou and a few other people have made prediction videos already. Raj, the hottest of the hot seat in the SEC is squarely in Gainesville.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, Baylor Man says Lane went to Fresno State.
Oh, okay.
There you go. So he didn't go to any of unless you're a rival with Fresno State. I didn't know it.
I don't think anybody is rival to Fresno State, for God's sake.
Okay, then. So
there we go.
Argument out the window.
Yeah, there we go. Lance Leipold. If anyone can rebuild
Who?
Florida,
Oh,
yeah, the Kansas coach. Yeah, if anyone can rebuild Florida, it's Lance Leipold. I mean, look at what look at what he's doing at Kansas. So
heck, he's even he's renovated or expanding the stadium at Kansas too.
Oh, I cannot think of his name. Who's the coach at Maryland?
Loxley.
Mike Loxley.
Mike Loxley. Yeah. That's another one. Or even what he's managed to do with Maryland's offense and really keep them competitive, considering it's Maryland. Or
Jason, good to see you, sir.
Great.
What about 7-5 at Maryland? Yeah.
What about bringing the claw fence to Gainesville? Mike Clawson from Wake Forest.
Dave
Clawson.
I don't know enough about him.
I mean, he's managed to have some top offenses with a bunch of people that nobody knew who the hell they were.
Well, you know what? We need somebody better than Napier. I mean,
I would get.
I realize that Napier is suffering from a whole bunch of bad recruiting, but going into his third year, there's supposed to be some of his guys on the team now, and I just don't see it.
Kansas went 9-4 last year. Yeah,
that's actually kind of fake news that he's suffering from bad recruiting.
Oh, Leipold? Oh
no, Billy.
Oh
yeah.
You don't think Mullen's recruiting was bad?
Go look up Mullen's recruiting. No, it wasn't as bad as Florida fans try and make it out to be.
True.
No, probably worse.
No, it wasn't.
Well, then why have we got 3 losing seasons in a row?
You're forgetting one.
Lack of talent would be my first answer.
Go look up the talent composite from any year. Florida's not outside of the top 20.
And yet we're losing.
That's bad coaching, not lack of talent.
Yeah.
Well, you got to coach talent, even if, I mean, you could have a whole team of 4 and 5 stars, but if you have shit coaching, you got to coach them up, even if they got some talent. Yeah, and then you get players with less talent.
I mean, even though your recruiting class this past season fell down, it didn't fall out of the top 20.
Doesn't help either.
Well, it doesn't.
You think that stud quarterback DJ Langway is going to hang around? I don't think he's going to. If Napier is here in 2025, Langway won't be.
I mean, DJ Wagway. Yeah.
No, it's actually Legway.
I mean, why won't he be? He's pretty much guaranteed to be the starter next year.
DJ Legway. Yeah.
Lagway.
If you were a 5-star stud quarterback, would you want to play for Napier?
No, that's like a 5-star dummy shit right there.
I don't think he'll want to play for Napier if Florida has another shit season, which it looks like they're going to.
Well, if he was thinking along those lines, he wouldn't have come to Florida to begin with.
Yeah.
See, let's see. Let me think of it. Florida right now is on a 4 or 5 game losing streak? 3 or 4?
Oh.
They're on a losing streak.
Oh.
They're going to probably lose to Miami to continue their losing streak. They'll get broken by beating Samford. And then you'll finish the year with at least another 5 game losing streak. And if Napier is still around after all that, I don't think Langway – is it Langway or Lagway?
Lagway.
Lagway.
I just call it anyway. Don't.
Anyway, I don't think he'll hang around, even if he's a guaranteed starter in 2025. He will be the guaranteed starter in 2025. But why would you want to hang around playing for a coach on a team that's going to go nowhere, give you no exposure?
Because he went to a school with a team that everybody says is going to be dog shit this year.
I'm just saying that as a Florida fan and a proud member, and yes, a proud member of Gator Nation, it don't look too goddamn good. And I think the problem is old Sunbelt Billy, and he got to go.
Sunbelt Billy.
But you know what? I can see the scenario where he doesn't go just because the numbers don't add up, and he's hanging around in 2025.
Well, and I'm not saying that will save his job, but it's definitely a consideration.
Oh, I agree with you. It's a serious consideration. I mean, Florida football pulls in a lot of money, win, lose, or draw. But you know what? That wellspring isn't going to last forever if they keep losing. Eventually, the booster money and the revenue from T-shirt and hat sales is going to dry up. I don't know about the rest of Gator Nation, but I haven't bought any Gator stuff in a while.
I buy Miami shit every year. Doesn't matter if they're good or bad.
Same here. Well, no, for Michigan.
I've been buying a lot of watches, so that's my excuse for everything anyway. So, no, but seriously, I haven't bought a new Gator shirt or Gator hat in a little while.
No, you do maybe have some Gator merch, like old one. So.
Oh, I got old stuff. When it's off season, I pack it up to save space in the closet.
Yeah, I mean, at least you got something.
Hang on a minute. Is this a rhetorical question, or do you have the answer, Lou? Because I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Yeah, I think it probably is. Yeah.
I would probably say no. It is bound to have been another coach in the history to have a losing record with a quarterback that got drafted in the top 4. I don't know. Maybe there is one.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
Yeah,
but
not
I don't know the answer either way. So I
think I
don't know
say,
if the question is rhetorical.
I would say no on that. Yeah, I would say no on that. But I mean,
well, and I'm also big
you
on.
So saying that usually you don't have a losing record with a top 4 quarterback. So
yeah, so I would lean towards Billy is the only coach in history to have a losing record with a quarterback got drafted in the top 4. If he is that person, then he's probably a one of one. But I don't know the answer to it, and I don't know how to find out the answer. So
that's pretty rare.
I guess that's a rhetorical question on Lou's part.
Yeah.
Well, and maybe it's the Tennessee game, or maybe it's another. But and this goes for most everybody. Team. Yes, you look at the schedule, and you should lose a lot of those games.
Yeah.
But like I said, goes for most everybody. You lose to somebody you shouldn't, so Florida's probably going to beat somebody they shouldn't.
Well, I see 3 chances to get rid of Napier during the season. After the Tennessee game, if it's a blowout, if it's close, he probably survives. The Georgia game is going to be a 3-score blowout. I guarantee that. Now, that would be the best opportunity, I think, for Florida to get rid of him.
If they don't,
and the other opportunity is after the Florida State game, after a 5-game losing streak or a 6-game losing streak, and getting blown out by your in-state rival. That's the end right there.
I don't see Florida State being so much better than you like you think.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't so much better than you last year, so I mean,
true.
Yeah, they barely beat y'all last year.
Yeah.
I mean, the year before it was a good game. So
and Florida State,
of the three coaches. Of the three coaches you're listing here, Lou, I would go Mullen 1, McElwain 2, Napier 3.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Mullen. Yeah, Mullen.
Mullen overall is a better coach than McElwain.
Yeah, and the McElwain overall is a better coach than Napier. So.
No, but McElwain is very nicely placed in Central Michigan, in the Midwest, in a small division, in a small school, where his aw shucks attitude fits in perfectly with his with an aw shucks football program.
Yeah,
Yeah, so. and then how would you rank them if we throw in Muschamp? How would you rank all?
You know what that sounds like, Saleen? I mean, people made those exact same remarks when Miami hired Dennis Erickson, bringing in this all shucks guy from Washington. Who is he? And Dennis Erickson turned out to be a hell of a coach.
Yep.
Well, McElwain turned out to be not.
All right. So what about? So who would you rank higher? Muschamp or Napier?
Muschamp.
Muschamp.
Mustard champ.
So I guess
Muschamp could develop a defense.
Right. So I guess the new order would be Mullen, McElwain, Muschamp, Napier.
Yeah, because
then,
Napier has proven he can't develop an offense or a defense. At least Moose Stump could develop a defense.
Yeah, and then when you throw in Urban Meyer, he's got to be number 1 out of those 5, right?
Obviously.
And then what about? Meyer or Spurrier?
Spurrier.
Yeah, Spurrier. Okay, there you go.
Spurrier revolutionized the game. Meyer didn't.
Yeah, and then when did y'all have Ron Zook?
In between those two.
Okay, he was between Spurrier and Meyer. Okay.
See, that's where Florida got lucky. Like most coaches, Ron Zook only got fired as quickly as he did because he came in after Spurrier, and he wasn't Spurrier.
Yeah,
and they got lucky by hiring Urban Meyer. Most programs don't run off a decent coach like Ron Zook and get lucky and hire an Urban Meyer.
Ron Zook was a decent coach? Okay.
He was. Listen, once again, Florida fans remember him in a worse light because Steve Spurrier, he was not. But Ron Zook wasn't as bad as Florida fans try and make him out to be.
No, he wasn't great, but he wasn't stinking up the joint like McElwain.
He's better than McElwain, Mullen, and Napier put together.
Napier, right?
I don't think I'd go that far, but he wasn't as bad as all that.
So he was not as bad as Moose Dump or Sunbelt Billy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, there you go.
Probably not as bad.
Okay, then.
He certainly wasn't great.
Okay, then. I mean, did Zook ever win the East?
No, I don't think so.
So
I guess that puts McElwain ahead of Zook. Yeah.
No.
Not necessarily.
Because you
would have to look at what's going on in the East at Zook's time, and then look at what's going on in the East in McElwain's time.
And y'all keep pumping McElwain. I don't understand this idiocy about pumping McElwain. McElwain was riding the coattails of Moose Dump's defenses. McElwain was a 3-year coach. he had moose stump defenses for 2 of the 3. In the third year, he had no more defense. He wasn't developing the offense, and he fell flat on his aw shucks Midwestern fat ass face.
All right. So who was better, Muschamp or McElwain?
Muschamp.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but Muschamp never won the East, so
that's because he didn't develop his offense. He
there
had great defenses, but no offense.
Well, I mean, McElwain also had no offense. That was also McElwain's problem. Oh, okay. So how come?
Well, look at the condition of the East when
so
McElwain won his Eastern divisions.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Georgia was flat on their ass being coached by oh God, what is his name? Shit, I know the guy's name.
What?
The church guy. What
Mark Richt.
Mark Richt.
Mark Richt.
Mark Richt was, Mark Richt was Mark Richt. Tennessee was in the throes of their slide into nothing.
Yeah, so
Kentucky was Kentucky, Vanderbilt was Vanderbilt. You know what I mean? So
Florida,
and Ron Zook had to deal with a better Tennessee and a better Georgia, because that's when Mark Richt first got to Georgia.
Well, we were pretty good in the from 2001 to 2005. But by the time
McElwain came around, Georgia and Tennessee didn't have a lot going for them. Florida at least had solid defenses going for them.
Plus Ron Zook had to deal with a home and home at that time with, arguably the hottest Miami team ever.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So while Muschamp was what was it? Florida, Georgia, and Mizzou were running the East. So
yeah. So it's like Slim said earlier. Say that 3 times fast.
But you're right. Georgia was kind of down. You're right. Yeah.
The different things going on in the East. I mean, Georgia was up, Georgia was down. Georgia was up, Georgia was down. Tennessee was up for a little while and then plummeted. Kentucky and Vanderbilt were pretty much consistently doormats.
Yes. So why do you say that Spurrier was better than Meyer when Meyer won
because
2 national championships? Spurrier had 1.
Okay, yes, and I can see how you and Lou would be confused about my contention, because Spurrier changed the game.
Oh yeah,
Meyer didn't.
Right. He changed the game.
Now, Meyer did some good things on his own. He changed a few things around. He brought speed into the game to conferences. He brought
Tim Tebow into the game.
Well, not only that, but look at what we did to Ohio State in the 2006 championship game.
Yeah, that was Chris.
We ran them out of the stadium.
Yes, I know, but Meyer did recruit. He did recruit Tebow. So
okay,
no, but he didn't recruit Chris or develop Chris Leak. Ron Zook did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Spurrier changed the entire game.
Yes, he did.
And everyone was chasing what Spurrier was doing to college football.
And to say that Urban Meyer has 2 national championships and Spurrier has 1, well, once again, you have to look at the landscape of what's going on. Right. Urban Meyer didn't have to deal with what Steve Spurrier had to deal with. Steve Spurrier had to still deal with a Bobby Bowden in his prime. Steve Spurrier still had to deal with the better years of Tom Osborne.
Yep.
And Urban Meyer was able to take advantage of no Nick Saban in the SEC. I mean, who was the best coach in college football other than Urban Meyer at that time? Bob Stoops?
I don't know.
I think they considered the sweater guy at Ohio State was supposed to be a great
Okay,
coach.
yeah, but I mean, okay, always Ohio State, always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
Yeah, and we ran Ohio State out of the stadium with speed.
Yes,
fucking Pete Carroll had already taken off to the NFL by then.
Yeah, but I'm saying that Urban Meyer was a great coach at Florida, at Ohio State. He's a shitty person, but he's a great coach. But I consider Steve Spurrier to be one of those rare breed of a revolutionary coach. That's why I say that Steve Spurrier is better than Urban Meyer. It ain't by much. And arguably, you can say, yes, Urban Meyer has 2 natties and Spurrier only has 1. And you can laugh at me for saying and all that. But I look at the entire package, and I think Spurrier is, and not only that, but Spurrier also was a winning coach at Duke back when Duke was a fucking doormat.
Duke's always been a doormat. I brought this up about Elko earlier. Spurrier and Elko are 2 of the 3 guys that have ever won 9 games at Duke.
Yeah. And
what about Cutcliffe? Yeah.
He's the 3rd.
Right. And Spurrier is a revolutionary coach. Urban Meyer is an evolutionary coach. And that's not a knock against Urban Meyer. It's just the way I think. My opinion,
well, I mean,
disagree if you wish. I'm not gonna say you're wrong for disagreeing with me, but that's the way I see an evolutionary guy versus a revolutionary guy.
It goes
like
back
Kirby
to something
is evolutionary.
It goes back to something I say all the time. Yeah, throwing up hardware, yes, is part of the argument, but it's not the entire argument.
And Kirby is a hell of a coach.
I mean,
as a Florida fan, I wish we could clone Kirby and dress him in orange and blue and let him roam the sidelines in Gainesville.
Yes.
But, no, you don't. You don't want a guy that went to school at a rival.
He went to
UGA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I wish I had that. I wish I had that level of coach again. I really do.
Right. Well, the clone of Kirby will not have gone to UGA. So.
Well,
the clone of Kirby.
I just want, if my next coach is either, for me, my next coach, I would want to be a neutral or someone with ties to Florida, and has some kind of stability built into him, which makes me not want Lane Kiffin. And Lane Kiffin's a brilliant football mind, absolutely. I don't deny it. I think he's a brilliant football mind. I think he's a shady character, and I don't think he's particularly stable. And I don't count on him to be around for very long.
The only reason he left FAU was for a better job. The only reason he left Tennessee was for a better job. As far as a brand in college football, even when they're down, how much of a better job are you going to get than Florida? Especially with the built-in recruiting advantages.
Albert, of course I remember the 96 UF team. Every Gator remembers that team.
Really? I thought it was
and I was living in Atlanta at the time, too. That was really very hard to be a Florida fan living in Atlanta.
Yeah, was that the year y'all won the Natty? Or
yeah, that was our first Natty. And
the
thing that made that so much even more sweet, no pun intended, was beating Florida State in the Sugar Bowl for that Natty. Beating your main rival and your in-state main rival to win the Natty and beat them 52-20. Oh, I got to admit, little tear came out of my eyes when that happened. I was
that's good.
Whooping it up, and I had to whoop it up quietly because my kid was asleep.
Well, that's good. Yeah, that was
that was before my kid was born.
Was that before the BCS?
Yeah, that was pre-BCS.
BCS wasn't until '98.
Yeah.
Tennessee won the first BCS title.
Yeah, we were number 4 coming into the Sugar Bowl, Florida State was number 1. 2 and 3 played each other. I think it was in the Orange Bowl. I think that was Texas and Nebraska. I'm drawing a blank.
Okay.
I think it was Texas and Nebraska. And Texas won earlier that day. And they put the score up in the Sugar Bowl. And we knew that if we beat Florida State, we were going to be the champs.
Was Florida State was number 1?
Yeah, Florida State was 1. Florida was number 4.
So how are y'all playing Florida State in the Sugar Bowl?
We were the SEC.
That's how it worked back then.
Okay. Even though y'all already play each other every year already, y'all still got matched.
Yeah, Miami and Florida State played each other in the Orange Bowl in 2003.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not exactly. I don't remember all the mechanics of how it worked out that we ended up playing Florida State.
All right, I'll play Florida State
in the Sugar Bowl, but we did. And then the number 2 team was beat by the number 3 team.
Yes, and then you jumped
I think
the
Orange Bowl. I think it was the Orange Bowl, and then we beat the number 1 team handily, and we were voted number 1 and won the Natty.
Yeah, and then what was the result of the regular season matchup? I guess Florida State beat you.
We actually were coming back in that game, but we lost to Florida State. I think it was 24-20. And they beat the crap out of Danny Werfel. I mean, there were late hits all over the place, and they were never called. It was a hard game to watch, but we came damn close to winning that game in Tallahassee, by the way.
Yep. And he came back and beat them in the Sugar Bowl. So.
Oh yeah, Baylor Man wants to come in. I'm sorry.
Baylor Man wants you to drop the link. Yeah.
Sorry about that. I only got about 10, 15 minutes more, but yeah, come on in, Baylor Man.
Baylor Man.
But yeah, 96 was
Baylor Man.
It was a strange year. We were undefeated until we played the Florida State game. We lost the Florida State game. We dropped to 4. We won the SEC title game against, I think it was Arkansas. And then 4. There you go. On the SEC title game against, I think it was Arkansas. You got to turn YouTube off.
Yeah, mute YouTube. Yeah.
Got to mute YouTube, Baylor Man.
I did.
Anyway, it was a strange year for Florida fans, but the end result was we won our first Natty, and we did it by beating Florida State. And watching the expression of Bobby Bowden's face when his vaunted dual edge rusher defense got manhandled. Oh, and the fun part about that game was the first time that Spurrier allowed the use of the shotgun consistently throughout a game. He hated the shotgun. He thought it was a cheap way out, but considering the quality of the Florida State edge rushers, it gave Werfel a little more time to get rid of the ball.
So if y'all weren't playing using shotgun, what were y'all doing before?
Everybody was under center.
Yeah, Spurrier had Werfel lining up under center the whole time.
Now nobody knows how to line up under center anymore.
So we decided to do well, people still know how to line up under center. But
I would beg to differ.
Yeah, they line up.
I've even seen NFL quarterbacks on the rare occasion that they'll line up under center. They're so used to not doing it, they fumble the ball. A lot.
I mean, yes, they fumble the ball sometimes.
Oh, wait a minute! I must have made a mistake.
But yeah, they still do get under center sometimes.
Shows I made a mistake, and we beat Alabama in the SEC title game, 45-30.
Okay, and was that with
I know
the
it was Arkansas, but it was
and was that with the quarterback under center or shotgun?
I believe he was mostly under center that game.
Okay, but then in the national championship,
Alabama's
changed
pass rush wasn't as good as Florida State's.
Right.
Florida State had an awesome defense back then. They had two guys rushing off the edge. And one of them was named Bulware. I forgot the other guy's name. But they were brutally fast. And Werfel got beat up pretty good in Tallahassee. But the shotgun sort of neutralized that. And you give Werfel time, and he would pick a defense apart pretty well.
Yeah, was that the year that that Werfel won the Heisman?
Yeah, Werfel won the Heisman. It was his senior year too. He didn't make it in the NFL. You know, he got drafted. He had his chances. You know, he didn't make it in the NFL. But
Tennessee fans still salty that Peyton didn't get it that year.
No.
Well, he didn't deserve it.
Yeah. So who did it?
You could definitely make the argument that Peyton Manning deserved the Heisman.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Maybe,
so who won it then?
Werfel.
You just said that, Vic. Werfel.
Okay.
By the way, Tennessee fans are salty about the fact that Peyton never beat Florida.
Right. Who won the Heisman in '97?
Charles Woodson.
I don't know. Peyton was gone by then.
It was Charles Woodson.
Really,
Charles Woodson won in '97.
I thought Peyton was there in '97.
Yes, Peyton was there in '97.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Yeah, he was a finalist again.
I thought he was graduate, but he didn't beat Florida in '97 either.
Yeah, that was T. Martin was '98. So yeah.
T. Martin was the guy who finally beat Florida.
Yep.
98, the year that'll live in infamy in Baltard.
That's right. Yeah, Peyton Manning never beat Florida.
That's
and
right. Peyton Manning made money hawking Gatorade.
Yeah, and Jake Fromm never lost to Florida. So
hey, that's all right, Saleen. Florida State sold it and come out with stole it and come out with Powerade.
And Jake Fromm never lost to Florida. So
yeah, we know Jake Fromm never lost to Florida. Jake Fromm didn't do a hell of a lot other than touch the ball every play. But then again, neither did Stetson Bennett. So, you know. And he's got 2 natties under his belt.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Oh,
well, I mean, AJ McCarron's got a natty. AJ McCarron's got a natty too, but nobody considers him any kind of groundbreaking quarterback.
No. Vic, did you see a message for you from Nate in the private chat?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Okay.
He said he wants to talk after the show. Okay.
Oh. Yeah. Well, Stetson Bennett, you know, he was a game man, you know, but he's got 2 natties. Can't take that away from him ever.
No.
I mean, Stetson statistically actually had a pretty good year as last year.
Yeah.
I guess he managed the game quite well.
I mean, I'm not sure if I would call it Heisman contender worthy, but he still had a pretty good year.
He still had 4,000
who was that
passes.
quarterback for the Tampa Bay Bucks that won a Super Bowl in the early 2000s? But
Brad Johnson.
Brad Johnson. That guy couldn't hit the broadside of a barn compared to other quarterbacks of his era, but, you know, he's got a Super Bowl ring.
We had a couple of them because we had Trent Dilfer before him, and he was on that 2000 Ravens team.
Yeah, Trent Dilfer was another.
And then I mean, Eli Manning won 2 Super Bowls. So
yeah, He's a he's a decent quarterback, but he's not what I would call legendary.
I don't think he's Hall of Fame worthy.
And Brad Johnson's son
So
also
you don't think Eli is Hall of Fame worthy?
No, but
name me another quarterback in the Hall of Fame that had a year where they were multiple years where they were statistically the worst quarterback in the league.
Well, I guess he's gonna be the exception then.
Well, Eli's going to get in because he's got 2 rings.
No, Eli's getting in because of his name.
Well, and because of the 2 rings, but yeah, 2 rings.
If he was Eli Manning with no rings, he wouldn't get in.
Yeah,
but he had some outstanding wide receivers that would catch the garbage he would throw up.
Yeah.
Right. Without the
rings, you're not
rings.
making game-saving touchdowns on the side of your helmet with elite quarterback play.
Yeah. Do you think Matt Ryan is gonna get into the Hall?
He had a Hall of Fame worthy career, yeah. I don't think rings should determine whether or not you get in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, if Dan Marino can get in the Hall of Fame without earning a ring, then
Matt Ryan
has a shot.
Yeah.
Well, Dan Marino absolutely deserved it because Dan Marino basically held every record there was to hold until Tom Brady broke them all.
Yep.
I always feel bad for Dan Marino because, I mean, that was a Hall of Fame worthy career. That was a career worthy of earning a Super Bowl ring, but nobody built a defense for that team ever.
Well, he's not the only one. Jim Kelly had a Hall of Fame career and lost 4 straight Super Bowls.
Yep, that's another good example.
Yep,
but Fran Tarkenton lost all those Super Bowls, and he's in the Hall.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, both Dan Marino and Jim Kelly are both in the Hall.
Yeah.
Marino, Jim Kelly,
as they should be.
And Fran Tarkenton. Yeah.
But I don't think Eli, without the 2 rings, would rank a Hall of Fame.
Well, listen. He's rings aside, he's getting in because of his name.
Yeah. But if his name was Eli Smith, he wouldn't.
Probably not.
No.
I mean, he's Trent Dilfer with 1 more ring.
What about Drew Brees?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he'll be in the Hall. Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, Drew Brees will be in the Hall. Yeah.
I mean, Phillip Rivers is another one. Look at his numbers, Hall of Fame numbers, but he doesn't have a ring.
No.
Yep. I mean, do you think that that Russell Wilson will still get into the Hall despite that he's fallen off at the tail end of it?
Hey Ballard, how you doing, man? Thanks for stopping by.
Well, most people fall off at the tail end. Dan Marino fell off at the tail end.
If he manages to get in with a team and sort of resurrect his
since he left. Yeah, I mean, he's been mid since he left Seattle, so.
Well, not all of that's his fault.
Yeah, I mean, Denver didn't have a hell of a lot to offer him.
They really didn't. And honestly, I mean, without Drew Brees, Sean Payton does not look like the same coach.
Nope.
No, he doesn't.
That's right. And without Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll doesn't look like the same coach. So.
Well, Russell Wilson and a monster defense.
I'm about to say he had the Legion of Boom.
Yeah, the Legion of Boom.
When the Legion of Boom broke up, Seattle sort of fell off the map.
Yes,
same thing happened with Tampa after they won that Super Bowl. The owners started trading away all those defensive players.
Right, and then Pete Carroll messed up by throwing the ball instead of running it. But
that part didn't help him either.
Mm-hmm.
You got a running back like Marshawn Lynch in your backfield, and you throw the ball on the 1 yard line.
Yeah, and then it gets deflected.
That may have been the all-time bonehead play of all time.
Yeah, and then it gets deflected and intercepted. So
Makes no sense. Listen, guys, I got to wrap.
Yeah,
I gotta
that's
wrap.
the same way the Falcons lost to the Commanders 2 years ago. So
Well, the Falcons had their own problems.
yeah, that's right. We
Falcons
But,
doing Falcon things.
threw the ball inside the
worst,
5 instead of running it.
the worst collapse in NFL history, and it has to be at the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Nail
Yeah.
prints.
But guys, I got to wrap up. I got to shut her down and head over to the other house.
Shut her down.
Yeah.
All right.
I appreciate
Toodles.
you guys being on the yard with me as always.
Uh-huh.
My pleasure.
Yep.
Slim just barely gives me enough time to say goodbye. And anyway,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
but Baylor man, thanks for stopping by.
Yes, sir.
Have a good 100 days.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, really, there's only 100 days left.
100 days till
100
college
days.
football, according to Baylor man.
Wow.
One
He's
double
keeping
two.
a He's
Wow,
keeping a
it's
running
flying
clock.
by. Yeah, no, it's just flying by. Yep.
Yeah,
Before we know it, we'll have football on our TV.
Yep.
that would be. Yeah, go Harvard.
Go Baylor. Second Bears.
There you go. All right.
Have a good one, brother.
You too. And see you around, Vic. Oh, don't forget, everyone, to head over to VicTube, 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday.
Yep.
For VicTube Productions live stream.
Yep.
And I'll be there after dinner.
Yep. That's right. And
Thanks,
then
man.
of course I'll be on with Lou for the morning show. So
Oh yeah, morning show too. No, I call it the show. You're supposed to call it the shoe because
the shoe. Sorry, the shoe. Excuse.
Yeah,
excuse
you're an
me.
employee, so you have to
the
call it the shoe.
Yeah,
I call it the
excuse
show
me.
because I'm not stupid.
Yeah, excuse me. The shoe.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Vic. We'll see you around, man. All right, guys and gals. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for hanging out with me for a couple hours, entertaining each other and keeping the chat lively as always. Y'all have a good rest of the week. Have a good weekend. We'll see you back for episode 185 of Wednesday Afternoon Live with me, SaleenDriver, host of the longest running Wednesday afternoon live stream in all of YouTube that I know of. And I think once again, we proved that this is indeed the show about nothing in particular. Go Gators. Screw you haters. And I'm out.